Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is 3.4.
What's going on, world? How are you? Welcome back to channel 3.4. This is kind of a Dave Speaks and the music felt by me, I guess, as we're talking about what seems to be the conclusion of the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake feud, rivalry, rap battle, war, whatever you want to call it. No music here today. I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on how I feel this thing wrapped up, and looking back at it now, like I feel like I kind of have a pretty clear picture of everything. Before we get into it though, we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I know we have a long way to go, so it starts with you. It starts with you. You subscribe today and you're just contributing towards this long journey to 100,000 subscribers. Memberships are now open too, so for a very low rate, you can click the join button. You get like early access to videos, merchandise discounts. There's going to be some other things in there. So, and then all the other links, you want to follow me on social, see what I'm up to, Patreon, get guaranteed reactions. Same goes for members too, that you get guaranteed reactions there. So yeah, let's get right into it. Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Wild exchange. What a moment in hip hop. I've never in my life experienced. I'm in my upper 30s, and Big and Pac, I was like 8 or 9 at the time. Jay-Z and Nas, 50 and Ja. Of course, there are many battles along the way, but when you talk about the biggest high-level guys, not that necessarily Ja was high-level, but people do forget that Ja was a very popular artist at the time, and that exchange was so real, too. But I don't think there's ever been anything like this. I think a total of 9 records if you go all the way through it. So let's say First Person Shooter is the start. That seemed to be the catalyst for everything. Not that it was intentionally a diss record or anything, but let's include it because I think it's an important piece of the story. You get First Person Shooter, then you get Like That, then you get Push-Ups, then you get Tailor Made Freestyle, then you get Euphoria, then you get 616 in LA, then you get Family Matters, then you get Meet the Grams, then you get Not Like Us, and then you get The Heart Part 6. Actually 10 records exchanged involving these two, and then many more over the past decade where they've definitely been addressing each other. And even some of the songs now, like Rich Spirit on Mr. Morale, I think, what is it called? Mama Said is another song on To Pimp a Butterfly, where if you go back and listen to those songs now, understanding exactly what I think Kendrick feels about Drake, and it seems very apparent that he's been addressing Drake directly, but without naming him for a long time. So, yeah, I would say this. I think Drake went out bad, but I understand why he did. He had to get out. I think he had to get out. He had to address what was being said about him, talking about being his affinity for younger women. He had to get ahead of it. He's got a lot of sponsorships, and I don't think that it's a good idea to let him just exist in the world with that being linked to his name as an unresolved or unspoken on matter. I think he would have benefited more from making a statement and then rapping against Kendrick as opposed to trying to address it in the song, because I think he wildly misstepped. Anyone that's seen the reactions, they'll be tagged up, along the way, so you can see them if you want to go back and check them out. But having the weird misstep about the song Mother I Sober and what he felt like Kendrick admitted to as opposed to what actually the song was about, and then weird things saying like, we fed you the information, but the people you're getting your news from is clowns. The only play there for me would be that Drake knew he had a mole. He intentionally gave the mole information, but the mole wasn't in on it. Like, he didn't know that Drake was setting him up. So he may have been exposing his mole at the same time. So Drake may be referring to that person as a clown, and then that person was giving Kendrick bad info. But I still feel that Kendrick heard Family Matters before it came out. So if that's Drake's doing, then he wildly misplayed his hand, because he empowered Kendrick to step on it with Meet the Grams. Dear Aubrey, I know you probably think I wanted to crash your body, but truthfully, I don't have a hating bone in my body. To me, that line is about the fact that I know you think that I'm dropping this right now because you think I'm trying to crush you. It's not. I'm trying to address you. And I'm trying to help you too, was another theme that kind of runs throughout this whole thing. Is like Kendrick is almost offering guidance and mentorship to Drake, and or at least raising red flags for Drake as to the people in his group, the how the culture really sees him, and how his behavior is a dangerous, slippery slope for Drake. And it almost seems like he's trying to check him with some tough love here, but trying to make Drake generally aware of how things really are. Like bring reality to Drake's face and make him have to deal with it. I'll say this: if Kendrick wrote a verse about a daughter that doesn't exist, shame on him. He got bad info, for sure. But I'm not going to sit here and go, what a dummy, Drake wins, because Drake also had bad info. And like I said in my Heart Part 6 reaction, the reason why Drake had bad info was because he didn't do the research. The same thing he's accusing, and to sit there and say everything I've said in my song is facts, everything I've said on my side is facts. He hasn't proven any of it. And it's interesting, in the Heart Part 6, he's got you gotta prove it as the sample. I don't feel like Drake proved anything either. Both sides. Nothing has been disproven, nothing has been proven. If you look, like Dave Free is still supporting Kendrick online. Whitney's brother says that it's nonsense and is still promoting Kendrick online. If the things that Kendrick's being accused of is true, I think it would be unrealistic to still be garnering support if they split up because Dave Free is the father of one of those children. I don't think they'd be. I just don't think so. This is a personal opinion, and it's subjective at best. But the things that Kendrick accused Drake of, I see the spin control going out there too. Like, there's women saying that it wasn't inappropriate, it wasn't weird, it wasn't whatever. But what's strange is, like, they kind of shifted a little bit. Like, what is it, Lil Cece, the girl that she's like the producer, that said that Drake is a huge high school women's basketball fan. And she said, when I turned 18, Drake had been following me for a year, and when I turned 18, I finally, garnered the courage to ask him to, do music or whatever. So if he was following you for a year. When you turned 18, you finally garnered the courage. So he was following you when you were 16/17. That's a little weird. I'm not saying that he was inappropriate. I don't know. But I think the thing is that there is evidence of him being weird. Like the girl on stage saying, I was 17, I'm 31 now, I'm in law school. No, we knew you were 17 then. That was the problem, was after he knew you were 17, he was like, why are you so thick? Why you look like that? And she said, oh, Drake didn't pick me out of the crowd. Some team members did, like Drake's team members did. But no one thinks that Drake specifically picked you out. It's his behavior after knowing you were 17 that's the problem. So, even the damage control that kind of seems to be going out is not really addressing the things that I think Kendrick was pointing out. But some of the bigger, as far as the ring goes and all that's unproven. We'll have to see, what kind of develops from there. The daughter thing, we'll have to see what develops from there. It could all be nonsense. So I guess the best way for me to paraphrase this, and this is just how I feel, maybe you guys share similar thought. If nothing any of these guys said is true, like if he's not running a ring and he's not being at the threat of being arrested at any time and he doesn't have a daughter, those seem to be the only allegations, right? And that he's actually acting on an affinity towards younger women. Those three things. If those aren't true, and if Kendrick didn't beat up Whitney and Kendrick's son is his son and not Dave Freeze, who do you think wins? Believe that everything they said that isn't proven true isn't true. Pretend that. Who do you think wins? I think Kendrick wins. I think he did a better job of character assassination while Drake was trying to embarrass Kendrick. I think the other things are true, like pill popping, women soliciting women problems. You got gambling issues, daddy issues, whatever, right? Like I think he was addressing more in like the cultural differences and all these. I think Kendrick did a better job of character assassination. So Kendrick, even if none of the stuff is true, that the stuff that's not proven, assume it's not true, Kendrick wins. Now let's assume everything they said is true. Who wins? Kendrick wins. Drake, they're saying, well, at least Drake spoke on it. Yeah, but speaking on it isn't proving anything. Like, just saying I'm not guilty doesn't make you not guilty. People plead not guilty all the time. So I don't care that he spoke on it. He could have done something to prove it in also, or disprove it, whatever. Both of them could have. So now we're left to cherry pick what we believe and not believe or whatever. I'm fuck the cherry picking. Assume it's all true. Assume it's all not true. Who wins the rap battle? Kendrick wins. Kendrick wins. Because I think there's more evidence. I think there's more evidence of Drake at least just being weird and inappropriate. I don't know. I feel like he has moments that are questionable and weird. And, like I said, it's the after 17. It's the following the 16, 17-year-old high school basketball team members. It's that stuff is just weird to me. It's just weird. That girl now, the little Cece is saying, no. I was saying that he liked a high school friend of mine, like a friend of mine from high school. But she also said in that interview, he was following me for a year. When I turned 18, I finally worked up the courage to message him about trying to work together or whatever. So to me, it's just like, okay, you're trying to clean up the perspective a little bit, but like we're missing the elephant in the room a little bit. Like the girl on stage, little Cece, just seems strange. It seems strange to me, and I get it. I get what Drake's doing. Like he's got to clean this up because I think Kendrick came and made a mess for him, and I understand why he would, and he would want to clear his name, and he should if he's really not up to anything bad. Yeah, he has every right to defend himself and set the record straight. I just don't feel like they're actually setting the record straight. They're just like moving the goalpost a little bit. But yeah, Kendrick wins to me. I kind of I would like for Kendrick to come and finish his food. I think the entire like Mariah Carey comes on, Touch My Body, You Start Reflecting. I think that needs addressing, considering like the experience of the generational trauma that Kendrick's talking about. I think that for Drake to make a joke out of it, I think Kendrick could address that. But I also think Kendrick is controlled enough and disciplined enough to know that, and I think the intent was always to expose Drake to the culture and kind of put him in a position where the culture identifies the issues with Drake, and now he's going to it's almost like Kendrick put Drake in the guillotine and is letting the culture do with him what they want. If you continue to fuck with him, you continue to fuck with him. Okay, well then you've made a decision. That's fine. If you want to kill this guy, and I don't mean literally, but if you want to get him out of here, get him out of here. Whatever. All I could do is bring him to you, and so you can pass your judgment and understand who you are. So, yeah, to me, greatest exchange in hip hop history. Much respect from a rap perspective to Drake and Kendrick both. I think they both took care of business. I just feel like that Heart Part 6 was just a huge misstep. I think he founded way too many things on that. Felt rushed, but the foundation for his counterpoints was just incorrect. And then in that song be talking about you need to fact check, you need to do investigation, you're so thirsty for information, and then let me know when you want to get to the facts because everything I say is facts. It's like literally 80% of that song is based off not the truth. So, and factually. So Yeah, I think Drake he just went out bad, but I get it. He wanted to tap out, and it seems like this thing's over. I think they're gonna put a bow on it with a Not Like Us video, and it's interesting. You go back and listen to Euphoria, the first like 15 seconds of Euphoria, the slow part, or I calculate, and how to calculate it, I can even predict your angles. You fabricate stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale, Master Manipulator. I can smell the tails on you now. Like it seems like he had this whole vision, and he knew where Drake was going to go, and that might be because of a leak in OVO, or just because he really knows who he's dealing with. He knew who his opponent was and knew what he was going to say, and closing that sequence with "Don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell truths about you." I understand he said that in the Hard Part 3 or 4, talking about Big Sean, but feels very applicable here too. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think or who do you have winning? It seems like it's over now. I would, like I said, I want one more stomp out record by Kendrick. If he does have an album coming, it might just be addressed there. Like he might just put a bow on it and his thoughts about it there. But aside from that, I don't know. I think this might be it. And does it change anything for you? Both guys are my respect from a rap battle perspective. I've never seen Drake get punched as hard as he got punched and then punch back. He did a good job, but when he was like down, I just feel he kind of went out bad. But the one time he finally got in the octagon with Kendrick was the Hard Part 6, and it just was not a great exchange. So I just think he kind of fumbled his opportunity to close out that record, or close out this exchange and back out gracefully, like with some integrity. And I think he just missed. I think he says the antics of a degenerate, all your antics are distasteful. You think about that Mariah Carey line, and it's rap battle shit. I get it. Like nothing's off the table, but basically you're making fun of the idea that anyone that's been molested would hear "touch my body" and feel like I don't know, just missed the mark for me. I don't get it. But let me know what you guys think down below. Go check out those links. Thanks for tuning in. What a fun run it was, man. As it feels a little weird. We had like a 24-hour silence. Feels like a ceasefire's been called. Like in the hip hop world, this was as entertaining and as good as it's been in a long time. And we joke and we're entertained by this war here, but of course you want to just I make the comment about the ceasefire, really take into consideration what's going on in the real world too. Like there are people that are really suffering right now and are in danger, and just be mindful of how lucky you are and to not be in a position where that is the news and that's the world you live in, where we get to just have fun with rap battle stuff. And even some of that rap battle stuff was very dark and very ominous, but it's nothing pales in comparison to the accusations, if what the accusations are saying are real. Obviously very traumatic, horrible stuff, but just getting the accusation part of it and that felt dark and gloomy, pales in comparison to the experiences of those all around the world. So just like I say, be safe, be real, don't forget to pursue your own happiness, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.